Hi everyone, welcome to our presentation. I'm Boli from Miami University. In our research, we study how elite female athletes incorporate Instagram stories into their personal branding strategies. So Instagram, a lot of us are using Instagram. It's a really popular photo sharing social media platforms that also has been considered as the most interactive social media platform for brands if they want to reach out to the Generation Z customers. So based on the official data released by Instagram in 2018, they found out they have about 800 million active users in that year. So 30% of them are consider themselves as sports fans. So those sports fans immediately use Instagram to obey breaking news, watching game days highlights, and also follow and interact their favorite athletes and teams. Instagram has been pulled as a very effective strategy platforms to increase brand awareness and also enhance brand's image. There are numbers of studies has been conducted in the past to examine how athletes use Instagram for their branding purpose. A lot of studies shows athletes mainly using Instagram for disseminating the backstage message, which means they try to show their private life personalized to their followers and audience. Compared to other Instagram studies, our research has been focused on the new function that Instagram just introduced in 2016, which was Instagram Stories. Compared to traditional Instagram feed where fans can share their videos and the photos. Instagram stories allow followers can easily tap on users' profile photos. Their stories will appear full screens. So the customer is able to watch those post videos and photos in the past 24 hours. Compared to Instagram feed, when you post that, if you don't delay, they're gonna be there forever. For the Instagram stories, all this information you share will be disappears within 24 hours. So you can use Instagram story to share your photos, videos, and also have a lot of interactions. Maybe you can send out a poll, let people to participate. You can send out a quiz, ask people to answer questions, and also you can use emoji to make it very interesting. So the purpose for our studies is to investigate how Instagram stories has been incorporated by athletes, particularly female athletes, into their online branding efforts. Our studies is driven by cell presentation theory. So cell presentation theories was introduced by Erving Goffman in 1959 in his book, The Presentation of Cell in Everyday Life. Cell presentation refers to how an individual try to convey messages and image about themselves to others and control or shape how other people view him or her. Goffman also introduced two concepts in his books. One is a backstage, one is a front stage. So he indicates an individual normally have to protect the cell in the front stage, right? But in the backstage, individuals can behave their familiar manners and reflect the true selves. So the cell presentation theories has been also broadly applied in the social media studies in the past. So in terms of methods in our studies, we are focusing on female athletes, in particularly female soccer athletes, those top athletes who competed in the 2019 FIFA's Women's World Cups. So we chose top 50 female soccer players based on the list of Guardian. So the Guardian newspaper every year at the end, they will publish a list, provide a ranking for the top female soccer athletes. So we used the ranking for the 2018. We chose the top 50 female athletes from that rankings. Among these 50 top female athletes, we find out only 37 accounts were eventually being selected. Some of the athletes, they didn't have Instagram account, they made their Instagram account as a private account, so we will not be able to access their accounts. As some athletes their national team did not qualify for the FIFA World Cups, so we did not include them as well in our studies. So we have athletes from US, from the UK, Netherlands, Germany, Norway, Finland, France, Sweden, Japan, Australia, and Brazil. The total Instagram story we gathered during the FIFA World Cups was 1,948, and we also gathered 482 posts that has been posted by the 37 athletes during the FIFA's Women's World Cups. In terms of the code book, we used Kevin Ho's code books introduced in 2014. In his code book, he mentioned about interaction, promotion, info sharing, and behind the scenes stories. We also used these to categorize our social media messages. We also use first 2 days data in our pilot studies. So the final code books we look at, we categorize Instagram feeds and Instagram stories into these 6 categories: information sharing, opinion expressions, interactions, promotion, behind the scenes stories, and match related informations. Look at what we found here. We have 4 research questions. The first research question we're looking at is what information the female soccer players share on Instagram story and posted during the FIFA's World Cups. So basically during the FIFA's World Cups, in the Instagram story, they're sharing more information on interactions, promotion, and the behind the scenes stories. And however, there were not significant difference between backstage informations and front stage informations. In terms of the Instagram feeds, most of the feed has been fallen to 2 categories: promotions and match related information. From this table, you'll be able to get more information. The second research question we're looking at is to see, did they use Instagram post or story differently? The answer is yes. All right. So the independent t-test result shows they use more Instagram posts in expressing their own opinions, while Instagram story has been mainly used for interactions, promotions, and sharing the behind the scenes stories. The third research question we're looking at is to see whether there's a significant difference on the match day and not match day. We find out the athletes more likely to interact with their followers during the match day compared to not match day. The last research question we're looking at is whether any significant difference during the group stages and knockout stage matches. We find out the athletes are more likely to send out promotional information when they're playing at the group stage matches compared to knockout stage matches. So those are the findings for our studies. In terms of discussion, we find out Instagram story functions provide a new platform. The athlete can really demonstrate both front stage performance, such as promotions and interactions, and backstage performance, such as behind the theme reportings and match reportings. However, there are not significant difference between these 2 strategies they were using. Story functions can also increase frequency of the athletes' Instagram usage because they post a lot more Instagram stories compared to Instagram posts. And also story function can facilitate interactions. It's a lot easier for them to interact with their teammates and also their followers. Athletes also learn how to collaborate with their personal sponsoring team to create a lot of promotional information that they can share on Instagram stories. And also they are trying to working on how to keep the balance between the social media usage in their competition to find out they're more likely to use the Instagram stories when they're competing at the group stage competition compared to like knockout stages competitions, right? But the athletes also find out they barely use Instagrams to show their opinions and attitude. For instance, during the FIFA World Cups, we know the Eco Pay campaign was really popular, but really few female athletes would mention about Eco Pay campaigns when they're using Instagrams. So in our study, we also have some limitations. The 2 limitations we have to mention. First one, we only study female soccer players. So I think for the future researchers, they should study about more different athletes. We also do not studies about effectiveness of these promotions. For other researchers, they can survey athletes to see why they're using Instagrams. We can also look at other social media platforms. All right, thank you so much for watching our presentation.